So I'm happy to report that the Sony A7C effectively is able to stabilize with Catalyst Browse footage that is captured using both the Metabones adapter, I think this is the Mark IV, for any of the EF lenses, whether it be the Canon 50mm EF or the crop sensor Tokina 16-11 or 11-16, which at 16mm is full frame, and using the Sigma MC-11 adapter with the Sigma 18-35. Autofocus is also on point, but the fact that it captures the data and is able to stabilize all this, check it out.
Yeah, you want to see the rain? Yeah, it's raining.
However, a little bit of a caveat. Now, earlier reports showcased that some people were showcasing, well, you got to turn off stabilization, you got to turn off IBIS within the camera, which it may or may not be true. And the reason I'm saying that is because sometimes when I have this camera on, right now I'm using the full frame length of the camera. So if I zoom out, right, you'll see the crop circle. I'll zoom in and the crop circle is gone. So the Sigma has that feature. The Tokina has that feature where you zoom in all the way, you'll get the full frame without much vignetting. But there tends to be a weird combination in terms of if I'm Super 35 mode or full frame, whether or not I put steady shot on. And also even with the kit lens for the A6400, the 16-50, it won't stabilize when steady shot is off, but it will stabilize when steady shot is on in terms of gyro stabilize, but the option to stabilize on both of them, but it doesn't effectively stabilize. So let's explore this thoroughly.
Hey guys, welcome. If this is the first time coming to this channel, my name is Bilal Khan. I'm marketing by profession, media by passion, and this channel is all about helping you make your ideas real. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm headed over to the garage studio with a couple of my lenses. My kid just woke up, so what I wanted to do was just kind of focus without much disturbance. But I'm gonna run through 3 lenses, and this is what those 3 lenses are. Hey, welcome to the studio, folks. So basically what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be testing this on 3 separate lenses. Lens number 1 is gonna be the classic Sigma 18-35. We're gonna do it in full frame and a Super 35 crop mode. The second lens is what you just saw me on right now, is the Tokina 11-16mm, and we're gonna do this on both crop and full frame, as well as this one. And then the third lens is gonna be the kit lens that comes with the what's it called? The Sony A6400 or any of the A6000 series is a crop sensor kit lens. So we're also going to be checking out to see how this functions, or how well it functions on in terms of the gyro stabilization of this camera. So the thing that's going to be unique about this test, which I have never seen anyone do, right? is what I call the Indian Shrug Test, right? For the uninitiated, the Indian Shrug Test essentially is the screwing of a light bulb and the bouncing of the shoulder. So the idea is to be basically holding the camera and screwing the light bulb and shrugging the shoulder while walking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how well this Sony A7C is able to stabilize that using the gyro data, and at what percentage is this going to work. And the other thing is I'm going to set the shutter to be 1/, we're going to stick to about 1/200, and we're going to do the Indian shoulder shrug to see whether or not it is, to see how well it stabilizes. So let's do this. Okay, so I've just got to clear a little bit of a path before I try the test. No, that's the wrong button. Trying to open the garage door. There we go. And door's opening, and I'm probably properly exposed. It is a rainy day here in Houston, so how long is it's not raining? Okay, cool, we're good. So let's bump up. So we got the ISO is really high right now, so let's bump this up. Let's bring it down to native ISO of 500 on S-Log2. All right, and now let's push that shutter speed to 1/200. Here we go. I guess we got to bump the ISO back up again. So let's go back to the second native, seemingly native ISO of 3200. And the sky's gonna be a little blown out, but yeah, let's get this thing started. Okay, so this first test is with steady shot on, and at 16 millimeters full frame, and let's do this. Shoulder shrug, shaking, shoulder shrug, and hopefully, I wonder what this is gonna look like in the in the edit. And now I'm just walking normally, right? This is just the normal walk, switch hands, because I've been holding it up for a little while. This is like take 3 or take 4. Just normal walking, and then shoulder shrug, crazy stupid moving, and back to normal. What if we just do the shake? No shoulder shrug, just the shake. No shoulder shrug. Just shake and shake. Do the Harlem shake. And now what we're gonna do is switch off steady shot. Let's see if that works. Okay, so steady shot is now off. Oh, gotta be careful about those cables. I gotta tidy up the cables in this place a little bit better. But anyway, so shoulder shake, shake, Harlem shake, Indian shrug, and just normal walking, right? Switch hands again. So here we go, switching hands, walking back, and shoulder shake, just shake, and that completes our test for 16 millimeters at full frame. Now let's bump to crop sensor with the steady shot on. Okay, so now we are on crop sensor Super 35 mode, but I've zoomed out to full 11 millimeters, and now I'm just doing regular walk, right? Walking in and out of the garage, and then do the shoulder shrug, Harlem shake, shoulder shake, handshake, whatever you want to call it. Walk in and then back to normal again. Switch hands, just do the shake, okay? Shoulder shrug and shake, and then now normal. So now let's switch to the steady shot being off. Okay, so now steady shot is off, just doing normal walking, and now I'm just shake, just regular shake, and then now shoulder Indian shrug shake, just shake again, and now I'm just doing the regular walk, okay? We are walking back to the garage. Again, 11 millimeters, Super 35 mode, and the steady shot is off. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap lenses. I'm gonna jump to the kit lens for the Sony a6000 series. Okay, so now we are at 16 millimeters, steady shot is on, and the advantage of a native lens, as I'm just normal walking forward, one of the advantages of native lens is that you have autofocus, right? If I focus very closely, walking normally, versus for focusing far, it has a little box right around actually this eye right here. And now, if I were to do the shoulder shrug, shake, shoulder shrug, right? And I do the shake, shake, shake as I'm panning, right? Shutter speed 1/200, and just going back to the normal autofocus, keeping a box on my head while I pull back. So this is with steady shot on. Now let's switch it over to steady shot off. Steady shot is off, and walking normally, walking into the garage, and then walking back out. Now, several attempts before doing this, anytime I had the steady shot off and I try to stabilize it, I would see the icon. I could click stabilize and I just have the option to crop in, but it doesn't actually stabilize. And let's do the shake, right? I'm just doing the shake, right? Grab the hand, boom, 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 just doing the shake, shake, shake. And just regular shake, shoulder shrug and shake, panning or turning, or what's it called? The parallaxing. And so let's see what the results are. Okay, so now we are on the Sigma 18-35. As you can see, I got the little box on my eye for the head tracking autofocus at f2.8. Let's see, if I were to drop this thing down in terms of, where is that? There it is, the wheel. If I were to drop it all the way down to f1.8, you got the super blurry background, and but everything else is just going to be blown out in terms of the sky. At least that's my assumption. I'm seeing zebras all over the place right now, but if I bring it back to 2.8, and this is at 35 millimeters, but if we do the shake, now I'm just going to do the shake as I parallax around my head, and I'm going to do the shoulder shrug and shake as well. Now this is with steady shot on. Now what I'm going to do is turn the steady shot off, and let's see how well that performs. Okay, steady shot is now off. Autofocus is still functioning very, very well, as you can see. Now let's do the shake and bring it forward, shake, bring it back, shake, as I just walk normally. This is what it would look like at f2.8. Let's say we bump that thing down to f1.8 to get that super blurry background, and step back outside, shake, 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 bring that back up to 2.8, and now let's switch it down to Super 35 mode. Okay, so now we're at Super 35 mode, 18 millimeters, f2.8. If we were to bring it down to f1.8, this is what it would look like. Bring it back up to 2.8. Oh, and just to let folks know, when I was doing the 11-16 on the Tokina, I was using the Metabones, as you can see here. But using the Sigma 18-35, I am using the Sigma MC-11 adapter. So this is just me doing the normal walking. Now, if I were to do the regular parallax, and then I do the just shifting shake, shoulder shake, and light bulb, and this is the just the light bulb, just kind of like shaking the camera around, and that's what basically the difference is. Again, we're at 1/200th of a shutter, and now we're going back to normal walking. And this was Super 35 mode with shutters steady shot on. Okay, so now steady shot is off, and just walking normally. This is 18-35 at 18 millimeters, Super 35 mode, just doing regular parallax, just walking. And then if I were to do just the shake, the shoulder shake, and then after that just kind of walk normally again, and this is just stepping out, kind of gets dark, and then after that back into the bright areas, shake, 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 shake again, switch arms, move in, move out, shake, 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 move in, shake, 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 move out. And this is basically the completion of the test. Okay, so in conclusion, there are a few thoughts to share in regards to this whole gyro stabilization test. So what I've learned is that if you are stabilizing using the Metabones EF to E mount adapter, then you can stabilize a lens whether it is in full frame mode or Super 35 mode. That's including the Sigma, that's including the Tokina, and even if you see
from the original first sequence. I was even using the Canon EF 50mm. This was stabilized using the Metabones. Now, the downside of the Metabones is that you don't get autofocus at all in video mode. Zero, not that I know of. I tried looking through the settings as best as I could, and I did not see any option or feature that would enable even autofocus single, not continuous, but even single. So you are going to be limited to manual autofocus if you're going to use the Metabones, but you will get full gyro stabilization regardless of whether or not you have steady shot on or off. However, if you're using the Sigma MC-11, which is what this camera is on right now, I guess MC-11 is designed, or I guess the programming inside it is such that if you put a crop sensor lens on it, only in the Super 35 mode will it stabilize. If I take the same Sigma lens and put it on the Metabones, okay, in full frame mode it'll stabilize, but as you saw, I didn't really see any difference when the camera was in full frame mode using the MC-11. It didn't stabilize, but there was a dramatic difference once it's in Super 35 mode, and it stabilized brilliantly. So this is a caveat. One of the things that was interesting about this one is that I guess whether the steady shot was on or off, this one being the Sony's 16 to 50 optically image stabilized, or OSS, optical steady shot, whatever it's called. I guess regardless of whether steady shot was on or steady shot was off, it did a decent job of stabilizing it. So that's basically it. This is an amazing feature. This is a phenomenal feature. I think a feature in and of itself could be worth it if the process of stabilizing wasn't so cumbersome. It's just like a lot of files, man. I mean, it's just like you have to do each file one at a time. There's no batch processing in Catalyst Browse. And the thing that I don't understand is that why hasn't Sony enabled this feature to be built within the camera? It makes sense, right? Like almost every phone going back several years now has that digital stabilization built into it. Why can't from what I understand, the data is already there in the camera. It's in the footage as the metadata and whatnot. So then why cannot the camera then process it live? Maybe the technology would make it a little too expensive. I don't know. However, I can totally see in a next generation of this camera that not only is the camera going to record the gyroscopic data, but it would also apply and stabilize it in camera, so that way you don't have to do it in post-production, and you have that option of enabling it or disabling it. Honestly, I think that'll be so cool. Now, the one other thing though, in terms of, this is just, I guess, a final mark in terms of, is it worth it in terms of image quality? I think it's going to be a little bit subjective. From a technical standpoint, the thing that we need to recognize is that the Sony, what's doing is taking a larger than 4K image, I believe it's a 6K image. It's downsampling it. It's squeezing that image into a 4K frame. So what you get is seemingly a greater pixel density. You get the noise, any kind of noise that you might capture is going to look smaller within the image itself. But ultimately, you're still getting the field of view of a full frame camera that is ultimately going to be 4K. Now, what happens when you crop, especially in my case, I was cropping at 75%, which effectively becomes a 1.5x crop. And so it's essentially, I end up shooting in a crop sensor mode. Now, if I apply that same 75% crop on Super 35 mode, it becomes a micro four thirds crop, essentially 2x crop, approximately. Fact check me or correct me if my math is wrong. But now the question, this is something I'm going to say for a later date. The real question now is the image quality, or is the stabilization quality, not doing the not doing this so much, but just normal walking, right, with the camera in hand, how much better or worse is the stabilization of the gyroscopic data than, say, I don't know, a GH5. What Catalyst Browse does is that it'll crop into the footage and you'll end up with what's essentially a 2.8K or a 3K video that's then being upscaled to 4K. So essentially the journey that this footage has taken is that it's been taken from a 6K sensor image, downsampled to 4K, cropped into 3K, and then taken that and upscaled it to 4K. So I don't know how much deterioration is taking place, but one thing I did notice is that when I was applying the Lumetri color grade from the original S-Log2 to the cropped S-Log2, it wasn't carrying over. It was just completely destroyed. I can see like colors were all over the place, and so and maybe I'll showcase at a later date. I might include it as part of a tutorial on how I go about grading S-Log on Adobe Premiere using Lumetri. It's rather straightforward, but to also showcase to you, there is some sort of data degradation happening or the image degradation happening outside of the crop. There's some image loss, data loss, that is happening when the image is cropped and re-encoded for editing again. So and that's why if you look back and forth between the cropped and the original, or the stabilized and the original, you'll notice that the colors don't necessarily match up, because I was trying to kind of make it as fast as possible. But anyway, this is the overall comparison. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm looking forward to continuing answering these questions that I have. So and also, Happy New Year. I'll see you soon.